Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, Ms. Goldberg, would you like to go first?
Thank you. Madam Chair, committee members. As a consumer advocate and a buyer's agent, I've been responsible since 1988 for representing approximately 2,000 consumers with their vehicle purchases. Approximately 2% of these purchases have been used vehicles. Through my Larkspur-based firm CarSource, I've developed a service specifically for such used vehicle purchases. Because I want clients assured that their purchase will be mechanically sound and structurally safe, CarSource requires a complete diagnostic on the selected vehicle prior to any offer made towards the purchase. However, in order to guarantee that there will be no conflict of interest with future repairs, only those state-certified diagnosticians who don't do repairs are acceptable. There is presently only a limited number of agencies available to do inspections in the Bay Area. One agency is the California State Automobile Association, with clinics throughout the Bay Area, and the other is the Auto Critic located in Los Altos. Both agencies maintain fully contained vans which also travel throughout the Bay Area. For an average cost of $65, consumers receive results on 80 to 100 tests, an oil scan, and even an inspection for structural integrity can be performed. To ensure credibility of the test results, I've selected to work with agencies that don't do repairs, nor do they recommend any service facilities for future repairs. The reports that are generated at the conclusion of the diagnostic clearly inform prospective buyers of any and all malfunctions or repairs that should be taken under consideration. With special instruments, paint and structural integrity can be assessed as well. I feel that the only criteria to determine if a vehicle has been properly serviced and maintained is the diagnostic process. Over the past several years, I've discovered that of approximately 250 units that I've had inspected, at least 20% of those vehicles had indeed undergone major structural repairs. In every situation, I would ask if the vehicle had a certificate of salvage. Surprisingly, I found that many of the sellers would deny that the vehicle in question had been in an accident or had experienced any structural damage. However, with the results of the diagnostic, the sellers were forced to admit the true history of the vehicle. One thing has become very apparent. More and more sellers are attempting to misrepresent the integrity of the vehicles that they are selling, and without a diagnostic on these vehicles, even a professional can be hoodwinked. It's not realistic to expect consumers to have the ability to identify a vehicle which has been in an accident, let alone totaled or rebuilt by a body shop. Once the vehicle is purchased for the process of an individual resale, any level of deception can and does occur. One incident in particular comes to mind regarding a seller with a 1993 Nissan Sentra. This car looked showroom new. It had only 7,000 miles, and I was told the car was well maintained and its only repair was a replaced door handle. Simply put, the owner was interested in a quick sale for low book. For a car which was represented to be in such fine condition, the asking price was too low. I wasn't at all surprised when the results of the diagnostic clearly showed that the car had been rebuilt, bonded, and repainted, probably as the result of a major accident. And again, only when confronted with the results of the diagnostic did the seller admit that the car had been purchased through a body shop and it did have a certificate of salvage. Although consumers can contact the Department of Motor Vehicles to verify the history of a used vehicle, most consumers don't. For many consumers, the cosmetics of a vehicle are all too persuasive. Without an unbiased diagnostic, even well-informed consumers can be fooled and are being fooled with many used car purchases. It's not unusual for used car buyers to take a car for an inspection to a mechanic with whom they've worked and trusted in the past. However, when a mechanic has such prospective business, I believe they do have a conflict of interest, and the worth of these inspections could be suspect. After all, they'll be doing the repairs which they've recommended. Even when a used car sale is handled by a licensed dealer, an independent diagnostic is in order. I recently arranged this type of purchase for a 1990 Mercedes-Benz. would the dealers guarantee that the vehicle for sale had undergone a thorough inspection by their service department? However, after insisting on an independent diagnostic, at least 6 important items were identified which were in need of further repair. As a consumer advocate, I encourage your committee to introduce legislation that will require the performance of the diagnostic prior to the sale of every used car in the state of California, and that these diagnostics be performed by state-regulated agencies that will be prohibited from doing any repairs. Consumers are not experts in the field of automotive purchases. If a professional can be so easily lied to, imagine the predicament of the consumer who is naive and unsuspecting. Thank you for your time.
I think you're right when you indicate that the buying public is not aware of even the existence of independent diagnostics or the value they have in making a determination on whether or not to purchase a car. If, however, we required independent diagnostics on all used cars sold, that would certainly add to the price of the vehicle, although, as you indicate,